you got to take it with a grain of salt. It is Colorado. We did what we needed to do. I think the defense played well, and it's a building block for the next 2 games. So it's a confidence builder because we didn't play well the last 2 games. No, I am pleased because I saw a lot of things that I liked in terms of the defense and staying with it all game. With Kalen Bullock, Tooley, we saw Corey Foreman. And so I'm pleased with it, and really seeing the emergence of Rayleigh Brown. So he's gained more confidence. Boy, he is just so fast. Him and Taj, you can't pick them up because they're slight, they're smaller, and once they find a crease, they're gone. And so that's another feature of the offense that I liked, and this was the game to get them some confidence going into UCLA and Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I like, Ray Leak was amazing. He just looks like, even that last one, that 40-yarder, you just expect, almost the point now where I'm expecting him, he's just so close to breaking one. I turned to my dad and said, he's just waiting for the UCLA game. That's when he's going to crack one off. I know it's going to happen. It's going to happen when these games down the stretch because he's getting so close to breaking one on those kicks. And I don't know if you guys talked about it already, but, the transfer from TCU, Darwin Barlow, he got into the game late due to the injury and stuff like that. But he made the best of what of the opportunity he had. He had 5 carries for 40. He had over 8 yards a carry in the game on 5 carries, 41 yards, and he had 2 receptions on top of that. I heard those on the radio on the way out of there. But he's shown flashes. I thought he'd get a better look this year. I mean, obviously we know why with Dye in there, but man, last year I liked what I saw from him last year, and in this game, he's showing me what I liked about him. So it's going to be interesting.
We got a good point here from Mark. Mark says RB2 seems better. Thoughts? Yeah, I thought all the backups really looked pretty good.
Let's make no mistake about this. No, Travis Dye is a massive loss for USC.
Absolutely.
Forget who 100%. He is in the locker room. Forget who 100%. He is as a leader. I'm talking about him on the actual field. I lost track of the blocking and the catching. His ability to catch the ball on third down. We're talking contested catches. You mean running backs make catches out of the flat and wide open. You hit him right in the chest. This guy's going up against DBs and linebackers and actually making contested catches, which is for a running back is usually not their strong suit. So we're gonna miss him a lot.
And he gets a lot of yards after contact that other people don't.
Yes, always falling forward.
He is
right?
a tough guy, and he is a huge. I agree. Melon Maurice says a massive loss. I agree with you guys. I think he's a huge loss, but at the same time, I also thought that our backups played better than I feared.
Oh yeah, for sure. They're studs.
Both those things, like multiple things being true here, not undermine. We have a catastrophic loss, but at the same time, we did have guys. I thought step up pretty well. Dave points out Dye was a stud for Oregon too. Tim, I don't think you were with us. We were talking about one thing that really, really stood out to me was the respect for Travis Dye when he got hurt from the Colorado players and coaches. Yeah. I don't know if you guys could see from the stadium, but Mike Sanford came over and was talking to him on the injury card.
Yeah, I couldn't see it from the stands, but just everybody was took a knee like that's. I'm like, oh shit, something's wrong.
When you see the other team's head coach come over to your injured player on the cart and spend some time talking to him, like that's. And I love CU because I have cousins that went there. I have tons of friends that went there. But as there was some taunting in this game. We had Will Rose doing a backflip. We had some fun stuff. But at the same time, I thought the CU players were classy about it. And in that moment, I give all my respect to Colorado for that.
Yeah, I just really want to see how this team's going to respond to a team leader. I mean, we know Caleb's a great leader, but I just have to believe, a veteran guy like Dye, a selfless guy like Dye. How's this team going to respond if they're down against UCLA? If they're down against Notre Dame, or if we make it to the Pac-12? Missing that guy there, just knowing you can give him the ball. It's third and short. I mean, let's face it, 3rd and 1, 4th and 1, we're like first down. You know what I mean? That's how I've been all year long with Travis Dye finding the hole, just getting those yards we need. The other guys, the other issue is you got Young. So, I mean, Raleek Brown is showing us what a study is. He'd be on the field more. He just has to work on his blocking. You know what I mean? And then Austin Jones, I think the reason why his touches were limited the last couple of weeks is because he has missed some assignments. He's missed some blocks that have led to sacks, which, sometimes can be drive killers. But I just, they're going to lose so much on the field and off the field with Travis Dye. My heart goes out to him. He's by far probably my favorite player this year. It's probably not even close. And to see him go down like that and his career, man, that was kind of hard to call the fun out of this game for me.
Yeah, and I love this. Gixxer Squid, friend of the show, we love him, points out, this time last year we were essentially 500. Now we're 9-1. Jerry Rice is walking on the field. We have a Heisman candidate quarterback, and we're number 8 in the college football playoff rankings. Crazy. I agree completely. I mean, that's, as much as we say, oh, we had a bad first quarter, it's the end of the world. It's not, guys. Like the team looked good. The team did what they needed to. And I give them all the credit for that. Yeah, they just I can't believe how well they're doing. And he says kudos to Dr. Folt, Mike Bone, and Riley. Yeah, all 3 of them. And I don't know if you guys know this, but Dr. Folt and Mike Bone actually greet each of the players as they come back in the tunnel after the game. The 2 of them, the president and the athletic director, stand there and say hi to the players, and she hugs the players and the coaches' kids and all that stuff. They are all in a way that's pretty impressive.
Yeah.
What do you guys think? Looking at tomorrow's games, UCLA, Arizona. Any chance that Arizona pulls a shocker?
Well, Rick's gone on record bold, and I mean, it can happen. I mean, I can see what Rick's thinking on that. I mean, it is doable. I just want to keep them, it's been so much more fun if they're undefeated. We need Notre Dame and UCLA to keep this nice and clean, so we get game day atmosphere, so we can crush their hearts. That's what I want. I want to take their souls, and it'll take the fun out of it. Just like Utah. When UCLA beat Utah right before we played them, it kind of, it didn't have the same feel, especially when you lose, but didn't have the same feel. I don't want that same thing to happen to UCLA right before we play them.
Yeah, I'm hedging my bet. I mean, if you look at it,
I like your pick, Rick.
This weekend, Pac-12. The smallest point spread was 8 points, and so I looked at 2 games that had the possibility of an upset: Washington at Oregon or Arizona at UCLA. Oregon's not losing that game to Washington. They're playing really, really well. Bo Nix is in the Heisman, running. He's playing extremely well. So I looked at it with Arizona. Arizona doesn't have defense, but here's a possible trap game for UCLA. Maybe looking towards USC. We saw what happened when they played a real game on the road. Up in Oregon. They did a UCLA thing. Now, obviously, this is at the Rose Bowl, and Arizona is a totally different team. I get that. I get it. Arizona doesn't have defense. But if they get in a shootout and Jaden Laura starts getting hot, and things can happen. And DTR hasn't had a DTR-like game from years ago, and he's due for a clunker. So that's what I'm looking at. I don't think that if Arizona does win, it's going to be by 3 points. It's going to be really close. But UCLA has to watch out because they're susceptible to pulling a Pac-12 type of game, a loss. We've seen it before.
Beyond that, though, Rick.
Yeah.
What I like is we know that DTR and that backfield can move, and Charbonnet can move the ball, and Bobo. They're gonna eat. And the thing is, the problem I'm having with looking at it is I also know that with Delora and those receivers, they are going to put up a lot of points on that UCLA defense, and I'm hoping that gives us a lot of game film. Because we have similar athletes on the outside and a running quarterback like Delora. I think we're going to get some really good game film, and we get to see what Fish does to this defense. I mean, that's one benefit for SC. But what you're doing is you're you put the underdog, what they do really well. That's when you see these upsets, right? When the underdog does something really well that the other team doesn't do very well. And so if you're talking about Arizona could actually score tons of points, UCLA will give up tons of points. The only thing why I'm not fully on board with it, and I'm going, I got you, Rick, is because, man, that Arizona defense is so bad. That's the only reason why I think that UCLA is going to pull it out.
The Colorado defense is pretty bad too.
And DTR is going to have a couple turnovers to give Arizona more possessions. It's a very slim chance, but hey, I had to pick an upset. I want UCLA to be undefeated. I don't want UCLA to lose because it's going to hurt USC's chances for a better quality win. It's going to be a great game. UCLA's got to take care of business against Arizona. We'll see what happens.